welcome to the episode of Modern Block. Thank you for joining me today. Another day done. It was actually a good day of rugby. Some interesting things. Cards all around, really. It's starting to look like a birthday with all these cards happening, I have to admit. I know that's a little odd, but definitely flying at the moment. The cards are going, I think we're on our fourth red card of the tournament. It's getting a little insane, but such is the way the day goes. Okay, so first off we start with Australia, Uruguay. Very interesting game. I don't think Australia performed to the level they could have, honestly. To be fair, 2 yellow cards. Their disciplinary record in this game was atrocious. It really was. Highlight for the game for me was Nick White passing the ball into Moore's face. Like, I know that's sad, but that was the highlight of the game. They definitely killed them in the running meters. Uruguay just couldn't keep up there. But did lose a scrum to Uruguay, which I think showcases Australia definitely still need to stabilise that scrum. Their set pieces just not helping them as much as they could because they also lost 3 lineouts. So to a tier 2 nation team, that's something that Australia definitely need to look at. 2 yellow cards didn't help the game at all. Some cynical stuff. They definitely, I know Michael Checker says that the refs can't dictate how they tackle, but it's starting to look like they need to listen because they're going to cost themselves this tournament if they don't. This is starting to get embarrassing for them. I've got a feeling that this might lead to some more citing. So definitely something that they need to focus on, as it's from a tier 1 nation like this, they cannot have excuses like that. But overall, a good day in the office. Bonus point try goes to them. There was some moments of Australian brilliance, but the fact of the matter is they still conceded a try against a not very convincing attack from Uruguay. But to be fair, Uruguay were on the other hand a very gutsy team. They pretty much put the same kind of pride and power into the game against Fiji, and it was nice to see because the Georgia game unfortunately let the tournament down. But Australia did shut it down well, similar to when they played Fiji. They just have lapses and moments where they start getting frustrated and the players don't play together. But overall, strong game. I like the jerseys from Australia. Very nice to see that cultural influence. And yeah, there's some work to be done. As Michael Checker said after the game, that the team kind of, didn't really bring everything they could have to it. And I think that they need to look at their discipline for sure, and set pieces. But overall, running-wise, when they cut defences, they cut them well. Kurandrani put down a star performance again, as he always does. So, yeah, I think that there's some positives, but not the most convincing game from Australia. And probably the biggest takeaway is discipline. Definitely. Off to England-Argentina. Now, England-Argentina was an interesting game. I think England didn't win it as convincingly as they could have, considering that there was a red card for like almost 60 minutes of this game. Overall, it was just not, it was the set pieces definitely were better from England. They were very clever to almost avoid getting, like, Argentina had almost no scrums in this game, which I think helped, and even on that though, they lost one of the scrums. So, yeah, it was shaky. They didn't play their best, especially in the last 10-15 minutes of the game, but to be fair, they had sealed it. Bonus point win for the Mr. Eddie Jones and his team, so I can't complain. Daly had a stunning game. Farrell, poor kicking boot in the beginning. Like, the first half was a shocker kicking-wise. I think he left his boots at home. Somehow, somebody brought them at halftime, so he seemed to figure it out. It was an average game. This wasn't really a spectacular one. There were some moments of brilliance from England that I obviously cannot deny. Some real precision kicking in the second half from Farrell that I appreciate. George Ford, obviously, also getting some good... really playing tactically well, and he's starting to definitely grow into this tournament. Farrell needs to watch himself there. Obviously, the red card coming to a tackle on Farrell seems to be targeted in this tournament. Argentina need to look at that. That was obviously a terrible way to go, and it almost made the game a non-contest, which is very sad. Argentina definitely, in my opinion, second half, especially for the first 20 minutes of the second half, started playing better with the red card. They were really pushing and heavy attacking the England line, but just couldn't come through. So credit to the English defence. To be fair, they were playing against 14 men, so it's a hard one to sell. And they did concede a try with 14 men, so I don't know if that was just complacency from the team. Stats, England definitely dominated most of it. It was a 60-40 effectively possession-wise, 433 to 226 metres run. Tackle percentages, both sides were pretty good in the high 80s, so it's not the end of the world. It's just not an amazing performance from either side. This was pretty much a gutsy game where, unfortunately, the red card changed the whole thing. So, congrats to England for keeping their discipline, I guess. And Argentina, that's what you get when, unfortunately, you have a bad moment like that. This tournament is becoming more and more about ensuring that every tackle is precise, because it can cost you a game, especially in the more serious ones, like Australia's one earlier. 2 yellow cards in any other bigger game could cost you the game. This game here, red card, cost Argentina a chance of possibly going through. I mean, they need to have Tonga. They need to now win their next game, and they need France to lose to Tonga and England. So odds are Argentina's out, which is very sad. But credit to France and on England for keeping their winning streaks going. So, yeah, credit. Cool. Next game, Japan-Samoa. The highlight of the game day for me, probably one of the better games. A real contest from Samoa. Credit to them. I know Japan won, and they were the better team. But as I've repeated myself here, Japan play as well as the team they're playing against. It wasn't a clinical performance like last week against Ireland. To be fair, they obviously, I don't know if they were just like still partying from it, but there was some strong moments. Mashushima putting the bonus point try at the end was really, really impressive. Strong tries in the beginning. Obviously, it was a case of, I felt that one thing that gave Samoa a better tactic here and what really gave them a chance is they played a lot more tactically. Kicking to keep themselves in the scoreboard the whole time. Some strong running tries that you cannot deny. Japan's forward pack started to become a bit of a dominant force in this tournament. Really, really strong, solid scrums, clinical lineouts. Samoa, unfortunately, losing a scrum and just not being able to face them physically. There was a couple of nice more tries that really improved. Was really impressive from Japan. I think it's just a case of lapses from Samoa couldn't do it, and some clinical performances from Japan that pulled it through. The tournaments are starting to hot up. Japan pretty much almost guaranteed to go through now unless something massively goes wrong, which is nice to see. The question here being first or second. But yeah, the pools are starting to pretty much settle. It's interesting to see how each team can actually, how the last week will adjust that, and I definitely want to do a video on that. I'll also be releasing a video tomorrow on the new picks for the last round. The tournament is hot on. I think that with this Japan-Samoa game, it was just really nice to see the crowd's performance. The whole atmosphere of the team is starting to this tournament is building to one hell of a climax, so congrats to them. I'm really glad this performance is happening. Tomorrow's games. So we've got New Zealand and Namibia and France, Tonga. So obviously, as I spoke about earlier, let's start with the Namibia-New Zealand game. I've got a feeling this is going to be a similar one. Interestingly enough, Jordie Barrett taking fly half. I don't think he had a bad game, but I don't think he's a starter. So this is not, in my opinion, this is more of a second-string team to the one that faced Canada. So I don't see it being as much of a demolishing. But to be fair, every player in the New Zealand 31 is dangerous. So I definitely don't see it being much. I'd say also probably 60 a game, but maybe 50. Overall, the biggest thing that I just want to see Namibia score a try against New Zealand. That sounds odd, but that would be nice to see. I think that they definitely can. They didn't score a try against us, and they have at least scored some tries in this tournament, but I'd like to see them score against New Zealand just for the fun of it. I think there's going to be some interesting ones, but to be fair, Ben Smith is going to enjoy himself back at fullback again. I think he's sad that he's lost that position to Bowden, so I'm excited to see how Ben can maybe try and push himself into that position. We've got Goodhue on the bench, so still an outstanding and dangerous backline. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's the starting backline, and a lot of these players are maybe going to try and just showcase what they can do, like I enjoyed last time. Sonny Bill Williams just really pushing himself into that and throwing his name up in this tournament like he always does. He's always a marvel to watch play. But yes, next game, France-Tonga. This should be pretty much an obvious one. Similar score result, in my opinion, to the Argentina-Tonga game. Although I think it might be slightly higher as Argentina took the pedal off the gas a lot. Although to be fair, France, it's so tough to pick right there. So I don't know. Obviously, a lot of people, French fans, of the back of their mind is the Tonga defeat from 2011. I can't see it repeating itself. Although to be fair, that Tongan prop is no joke to run up against. As I said, Demba Bamba is not there anymore, which is very sad. I really enjoy him as a player. But overall, the French team is still very, very strong, and this is a must do or die win. Really, if they win this, they go through automatically. So I've got a feeling that they're going to bring their A team, the A game. They are bringing pretty much a full strength team. So I don't foresee any major problems. But yeah, overall, strong day of games. I felt cards were unfortunately a large part of today's play. That's upsetting, but it's one of those things. I think that there was at least a little bit more impressive attack from some of the teams, some quality tries. Australia had 1 or 2 good tries, or to be fair, overall it was a shaky performance. England really starting to build performance, and as Eddie Jones said in his report, I think it's all about the fact that they're obviously slowly building and haven't really had much competition. But the question is, can they continue building fast enough for the games coming up? But we shall see. Japan, congrats for another win. Really taking this tournament by storm. Congrats. But yeah, cheers guys. Let me know if you have anything else you want to any other videos you want me to cover, any other opinions or stuff like that. Comment, subscribe, share, all those good things down below. Cheers guys.